Good evening, guys. Hope you are well. Welcome to Gear Night. We're back again for another Thursday night. How's your week doing? If you're watching, jump in the chat, say good day, tell us what you're up to. If you're in Victoria, already know what you're up to. Nothing. So we are back. Andy has joined me. Andy, how you going, man?
Yeah, doing well, Rusty. Yourself?
Good. I think I'm out of focus, but anyway, let's see if that's any better. Good. What's been happening with you?
Not a whole lot. I've been held up a little bit at work today, but
Yes.
keeping busy, smashing out podcasts, chit chat.
Good stuff.
Bits and pieces,
Yeah, bits and pieces. Fantastic. Excellent. Well, big night tonight. We've got a whole stack of topics to cover for Gear Night because of our special guest this evening. But before we get onto that, g'day, Scott. Hope you are doing well. We need to let you guys know there's matches popping up and bits and pieces. I know the guys had a good time up in Darwin. Those could actually make it and get to Darwin and didn't have their flights cancelled. Hey, Andy?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so for those, the match in Bigoton at the end of September, I believe, is full, but they're looking for waiting lists because inevitably people will have to bail or can't make it or borders shut or whatever happens. So make sure if you can get to Bigoton late September and you want to shoot that match, get your name on the list, even go up and help out. That's also a really good way to do it. And then last minute call up, you might even make it into the match. So who knows? We've got a match on the 19th of September, is it, at Monado, Andy?
Yeah, mate. Still Slam.
Still Slam, that's the one.
Get on it.
State of Origin, we'll take that out. So that's going to be a really good one if you're in SA. And there also will be another match in the middle of November as well in SA, pushing out to, I think, about 1,000 or 1,100, somewhere there. We're starting to get some distance on it, which is fantastic to see.
It's just out of a stone throw.
Just beyond one stone.
Yep.
Good. All right. Well, I'm glad you're onto it. Glad you know what's happening. Fantastic. Excellent. Well, guys, also good day to Anthony as well, who was chatting away. Right, my guest tonight is Adam from 3 Gun Tactical. Adam has been running training for years and has started a firearms dealership a little while ago and opened up the shop in November and promptly closed the shop again in March and then has reopened since. So no doubt we'll get onto all of that and he's got experience worldwide as a competitor in all sorts of disciplines and is intrigued by the precision rifle world and started to delve into that as well, which is how we've connected. But he's got all sorts of stuff to show us and talk to us about tonight. So g'day, Adam. How you going?
G'day, Rusty. Good. Going well, mate. Yeah, pretty good. Sunny Queensland. Nice and warm, not as cold as the rest of the place. Great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problems, mate. Absolutely. It's good to get on. We by now, if everything had been normal, we would have met a couple of times and probably shot together or done something like that. And
yeah, definitely.
Well, not be the case so far. But anyway, that's all right. Here we are, and we get to chat in this sort of scenario. So tell us a little bit about your background in shooting and 3GT and give us the whole package, mate.
The full package. No, mate, thanks. It's kind of started when I was a kid back in the day. Got on range when I was a little fella with my old man taking us down to the SSAA at Belmont.
Yep.
Got the bug then.
Yep.
This is back when I used to be able to take my 22 bolt action on the bus to school with me to shoot ISSF as a sport at school. I'm not that old, but it was pretty cool times. So had a break for a while. Had a different career, got jack of that career, banking and finance ain't as fun as what you may think it might be.
That's pretty low standard then. Righto. Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then moved over to I did quite a bit of electronics and background in biomechanics as well. So I had a part-time moonlighting thing as a physical trainer.
Okay.
And got held on into shooting again 10 years ago.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And what prompted you to get back into shooting? What was the main reason, or the event that caused it?
I sucked as a special forces operative. No, I'm kidding. No, I just enjoyed it. I got a bunch of friends in the States. I lived in America for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, probably about then, when I was still a banker, and just got exposed to mostly 3-gun,
Yep.
playing with ARs and running around with shotguns and pistols, and then that really struck a fire again, and worked out how to get back into it back here, and fought the good fight.
Okay.
Since then, I've been going back and forth to the States a lot.
Yeah, right.
I've got qualifications in America as an instructor, so work with some mostly government types, but a few competitive guys. So I've got some partners over in the States to do that. And yeah, trying to do the same thing over here. Why did I do this crazy stuff? I had a lot of trouble actually getting a hold of useful information at gun shops. I just found there was a lot of people that didn't really seem like they cared. And having lived in a bunch of other countries, I found that the customer service levels were much nicer over there. And I thought, oh, well, I reckon I'll give it a crack.
Yeah, right. Okay. And so three gun tactical and the training side of things as well, that's under the same brand name?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
So I have a heap of friends that are police and military, and they're quite often lamenting around, hey, listen, we just don't get enough time on range. We don't get enough time behind guns. We don't get enough training that we'd like.
Yep.
And a lot of that's because of our legislation gets in the way that we can't deliver a lot of good training. So I've kind of navigated some ways on how to deliver training and proficiency skills development for police and government services. So I am a licensed firearms instructor as well. I've got a consulting business, but it pretty much all falls under the banner of 3GT.
Right.
I'm trying to flesh out some tech in the virtual reality world, and some CO2 gas systems that I can show you a bit later on for training tools to enable training as a dry fire. It takes dry fire to a new level.
Okay. Yeah, nice, mate. All sorts of tools on the list, all sorts of options. And what
I get busy.
what was the first gun you shot? Do you remember?
As in back when I was a kid, it was probably like an old Norinco 22 LR.
Okay.
And then it sort of progressed. I probably bought one or acquired one from Kmart, maybe. No, I wouldn't incriminate myself. And then when I came back here, I think the first one I got was a Ruger RPR.
Yeah, right. Okay. That's once we got back and got stuck into the rifle side of stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
got into that. Figured that. Then I got into handguns pretty seriously, more so than the rifles, and focused on IPSCing here and USPSA back in the States. And then I got a whole heap of ARs and AKs and all kinds of fun stuff that's obviously is not here.
Yep.
Some of it might be because of my instructor license, but and then the handguns, I bring in some pretty high-end handguns from the US. But my first handgun in Australia was actually a CZ-75.
Good choice.
Yeah, just a nice little 9mm.
Yeah, okay.
And was badly.
Yeah, nice. So they're kicking off with a Ruger RPR and the CZ-75. That's not a bad combination. I was talking about before with gear, right? I kind of want to do things properly the first time. It's the old buy once, cry once thing, rather than half-assing it all the way through the program and then constantly spending more than what I would have spent the first time and still having average stuff. So, and it's the same sort of how I speak to the guys that come in here and want to get gear from me. It's just like, okay, what do you want to do? And then we can work out what will fit into that with the budget available. Yeah, absolutely, and be able to take it from if they're really keen on it, and that's what they definitely want to do, being able to put them into a position where you get the right gear day one. It doesn't have to be completely top tier because we all have budgets to work in, but it's something that's sensible, that's going to actually achieve your purpose. Nothing worse than seeing a guy rock up to a competition and they've been sold a gun that is just not even remotely relevant to us. And we see it PRS, but I'm sure in the handgun side of things, like
big time.
What's we'll delve into that, no doubt. So what are you running? What are you running now? What's your sort of main go-to for both rifle and shotgun as well? Bring that into it, and handgun. What sort of gear are you running? Oh, we've got show and tell now. Right.
Show and tell. I've just gone into open category for a pretty high-end handgun made by a company called Phoenix Trinity in the US.
Okay.
So yeah, coincidentally, I'm their distributor here, but you know, that's again, it's the latest greatest bit of kit you can get. So that's an IPSC open gun. Here in the rifle rig, I'm bringing in some of the Voodoo rimfire guns. So I've kind of gone all out on one of them. So I've got a apparition coming over in an MPA BA comp chassis with proof research carbon barrel on it, Trigger Tech diamonds, putting a Carl's 525i with the new reticle in it on top of that. And then for centerfire, and news drop soon, we're running a 6GT in a Defiance, probably Tenacity.
Okay.
And again, I've got a little project where I can run the Voodoo rimfire gun, and I want to be able to take that optics set with the spur mount and drop it straight over onto the centerfire. Yep. And see if I can do a little bit of multi-purposing with that. But value for money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Voodoo's certainly an interesting setup. I mean, a lot of people will look at you, I'm sure, unusually when you said that your 22 has cost you $4,000 or $5,000 or so. Now you've played with them a little bit. Why are Voodoos so much more expensive than a CZ 452 or 455 or 457 or whatever number up to, Andy? I don't remember.
I think it's a 457 up around there.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's an awesome question. I think it comes down to the volume. Like, they're not a big volume manufacturer, and I coincidentally, the way I met Mike and Paul and Andrew from Voodoo is I spend a lot of time in southern Utah with the training partners that I've got over there, and it's kind of a smallish town in St. George, so they all talk to each other, and just looking at they focus a lot on quality rather than volume, and I think there was a lot of synergy between what I want to do in 3GT in my business and what they want to do. They rather sort of go less volume, but much higher quality, much finer tolerances, much better performance across the board, and get a better outcome. So it's the whole, do you go to Bunnings to buy not Bunnings, maybe Czech Republic, Bunnings and CZ are awesome. I'm definitely not going to. They're a bad example. They are fantastic, but they're a great value for money solution. And I do sell CZ's rifles in here, and they're awesome. But they're just not set up to be running a 40 grain bullet, an SK bullet out to potentially 1,000 yards. And do it accurately as well. Like hitting a plate that's probably the size of your monitor. I can't believe that I actually shot basically a 12 by 12 steel plate at 670 yards with a 22 LR.
Also, my monitor's a lot bigger than you think then. But anyway. It's just...
Not compensating, are you, man?
No, I've got two eyes. I need to see that. Anyway, that's it. I am completely compensating for my poor shooting skills by having an amazing monitor on my desk. Yeah. That's the way I roll. That's the way I roll. If I can't shoot well, I should have good guns at least. So now make everyone jealous. Let's go through some of the stuff that you shot while you were over in the US and bits and pieces that you play with, because we do like to hear about the gear that perhaps we either never will shoot or never will see, or maybe one day head over there and have a crack ourselves. What's some of the highlights in terms of equipment that you've used in your time?
Should I go straight for the top?
God, why not? Why not? We can only go downhill from there. And, generally when I'm involved in a broadcast or a podcast, I mean, we start, the intro is the best part. So here we go.
Miniguns out of helicopters.
Okay, well, that's better than any intro I've been involved with. All right, good. Miniguns out of helicopters on pigs on, what are we been doing?
It's happened a couple of times. So that wasn't on pigs. The miniguns are in the desert in Nevada. That was and I can actually take people to go and do that. I assume the Rona lets us travel again. But that's, we were taking people over 3-gun. SAW 249 SAWs, which is a 5.56 caliber machine gun, out of helicopters as well. Other sort of 50 cal machine guns out of Humvees on the top of that on the move. So that's kind of the machine gun. AKs, RPKs, all of the com block stuff. There's a really freaking cool match in October Sometimes it's in Utah, sometimes it's in Nevada. It's called a Red October, and it's a bit of a, and AK people are special.
Okay. Yep.
And it is actually one of the funnest, most laid back, fantastic matches I've ever done. There is a full auto section. Like if you can run full auto sub guns, and there's a division for you to run that. So that was pretty fun. Got expensive. Instead of a 200 round count, it was about 4,500.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of reloading, Andy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of reloading going on.
Just the odd Sunday afternoon.
For it's 3 months. Yeah. Okay, good.
So RPKs, full auto. I have video as well, so I could send that. So I have evidence that I've done that sort of stuff.
It's all right, man. We believe you. We believe you. It's fine.
Talking shit.
Good.
But unfortunately, my full auto fetishes have not been catered to for a little while now. So I'm getting a bit itchy. So if I start twitching, steer clear of the machine guns.
Very good, mate. And what about some of the other stuff that perhaps is not so common to see over here, like some of the nicest? Let's go with handguns in terms of some of the stuff you've had a chance to play with. What's been really good, and then not necessarily just the top end. I mean, because I'm Andy, let's bring Andy into the example. He is got to buy a handgun soon. He's just got his handgun license or in that process, and so handguns are something he wants to pick up. Some of the stuff that presents really good value for money, as well as some of the real nice flash stuff you can show off with.
Yeah, man. Like it's a great question, and you don't need to go win the megabucks. So. Obviously, your entry level stuff is sort of your your Glocks is a nice simple platform to start off on. You can get used ones for sort of $700 upwards around that, depending on the quality, and they'll do the job. So as an entry point into sort of IPSC or just plinking away, sort of a nice little 9mm Glock, that's fine. CZs, as we said before, CZs are a great option. Supply of those is a massive issue right at the moment.
Right. Not just limited to those either, though. The supply of many things.
No, we'll get to there, won't we?
Yep.
CZs, Walther PPQ. So probably around that sort of a couple of grand mark. New. It's going to get you something really nice, actually, that's going to help you grow. So you'll very quickly outgrow the traditional Glock and its capabilities. And if you're going to do running and gunning and IPSCing, you're going to outgrow its capabilities pretty quick. But a couple of grand for a CZ or a Walther PPQ, or if you got an old school flavour, go for a 1911. Yep.
Yeah, nice. And so what, like, obviously, I guess myself and many of our crew and many of our audience know, what takes you from base level rifle to the next level sort of stuff. But what about in the handgun world? What takes you from your Glock that you suggested as a starting point up to the real flash Ferrari you showed off before? Where does the difference change? Where does that money go?
Yeah, awesome question, man. So recoil management, similar to with long arms, the heavier the gun, the less felt recoil you're going to have, and that means you can reacquire targets a bit more. It's kind of the same principles that work through as well. Funny, going back, like most popular competition handgun platform is a double stack 1911, which instead of the single stack magazines, they've kind of got them offset a little bit wider. So it's called a 2011, commonly known as an STI, unfortunate name, but that's the brand name that it is out of the States. They've just changed names conveniently called to 2011. Bull is another one. So anything that's got that double stack. Everywhere else in the world where you can have more than 10 rounds, you put more rounds in the mag, and that's the purpose behind it. But that design that was originally done back in the mid 1890s, 1896, I think it was, the 1911 back then, and then progressed on a few years back, is probably still the best trigger feel, the best performance, the most reliable, and like a REM 700, the most options are available for that 1911/2011 type platform. But as you go up, the quality of the machining, like the cheaper 1911s are a bit rattly on the slide to frame fit.
Yep.
Same as like on the current Remington 700 rifles, the bolts rattly and the machining and the tolerances are a bit looser. The QC sort of softened off a bit lately. Versus going up, why would we go into a Defiance action? Because smoother action, it's finished better, there's more high quality machinery that's actually made the bits that go together, and it's going to perform in a tighter window of variability than our friend the polymer Tupperware Glock.
Gotcha. And so I guess from a basis point, there's many of the same things that we see in the upgrading of rifles, we see in the upgrading of handguns, just sort of the nuances are a little bit different in how we get there. Yeah, nice. Yeah,
man. It's the same thing, I guess. With handguns, you've really only got two contact points, which is lefty and righty, and the ability, like, obviously positioning, having your body, biomechanics of running a long arm rifle is critical to your performance and your success in doing that. Even more so with a handgun. So stance and managing recoil effectively is actually done through stance. When the muzzle flips, so the gun sort of flipping like this is actually driven by the grip. So rather than gripping the gun like a monkey grip like this, it's much better to pull the gun back into the hand, because the gun, I'm not going to aim it at you, but the gun recoils back at you. It doesn't do that. It just goes straight back. So some people, when I do courses with people, and I'm working with some people tomorrow, they go, holy, the amount of, and I'm sure you have it all the time when you're teaching newbies, probably like me, how to run a precision rifle successfully, there's a lot of, oh, wow, that just makes sense type moments. Why didn't I think of that before? Because you've got a bangy thing in your hand that may or may not hurt someone if you do the wrong things. And there's a bit of intimidation around that. But yeah, the gear is important, but the operators or the users even probably more important.
Absolutely. Maybe we should start another show, Andy, called Skills Night, because that's really the where it all counts, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
It's interesting you say that, Rusty, because that's I'm always looking for ways to learn, and I like learning from everyone. So even though I'm an instructor, that's mostly just for firearm safety courses and people to get their licensing. I incorporate a lot of skills and fundamentals in my safety courses, so that I want people to go to the range like you do to be successful. I want people to come and do a safety course, get their license, and then go and get their firearm and then put holes in paper or rounds on steel and go, oh, shit, oh, that's really good fun, rather than, bang, where did that go? Oh, I don't know, send another one. Bang. Where did that one go? I don't know, fuck if I know. And that's just not, it gets unfun pretty quick. So Skills Night would actually be an awesome idea.
Yeah, there is other plans in the works, so let's not ruin all our secrets. No, absolutely, but it is kind of cool to talk about gear from time to time as well, which we often haven't talked about extensively. So it's good to go. Mate, what brought on the interest in the precision rifle side of things? I've always really had an admiration and a fascination on the science and the art of shooting really long range, but doing it successfully. So, being a kid and reading, Andy McNabb books and, having, fantasies about becoming a soldier and doing all that bullshit. But yeah, just trying to understand ballistics and understand how to put that tiny little weighted bit of lead and copper and maybe a bit of plastic onto something that's a fair way away, but do it quickly and accurately. And I've gone, wow, how do I learn how to do that? And I got distracted by handguns a lot, and I've gone, wow, this is like, really cool, and I want to learn more about it. And the more I sort of learn about it, the more the heroin of long range shooting gets into my veins. Gotcha. And so that RPR you started with, what did you take away from that when you went from there to upgrade to it? Obviously, it's a good platform there, but where was it lacking?
I was the lacking part of that.
I love the honesty. That's quality, mate. Quality, and also let's not focus on negative. What was good about that platform as well? What did you get out of it that was excellent?
Oh, mate, for a relatively little amount of money, I think, like, I don't know, a couple of grand and a bit and some change for the rifle. And then the importance of the bits that connect the bits. So it's great to have a nice scope and a nice rifle, but if you've got shit rings, like it's the weakest link. It's the old thing with motor racing, whereas like the 50-cent part will destroy a race or a big expensive car.
Yep.
And I realised that, okay, it's all really important. So that got me onto, and it's also, I'm sure you've done it more than 1,000 times. How do you actually set up that scope properly and mount the rings onto the action and get that to do all to line up?
Yep.
Eliminate those variables, and instead of chasing the dots around the paper, I can actually put the dots in a place. The physicality behind it, okay, breathe in, breathe out, pause, squeeze. How to try to work out to run the turrets and do calculations of reticles and distances and things. And I'm very early in my journey and got a lot to learn. But I just find it really captivating and interesting, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, we have to take a quick break because we need to do our what's on the shelf segment, and got some interesting stuff. And hopefully you've got a shelf there as well, Adam, because we can throw over to you as well. But I've got a couple of things to show off. Firstly, you said you shot in the States a lot. Well, I haven't shot in the States very much, but I have a little bit. So this is from Arizona. I shot a match over there.
Arizona?
Last year with Butters. And this was the Tactical Precision Rifle Challenge. Oh, no, that was not the match I shot. I don't know why that's on there. But anyway, that was the challenge coin they gave me. Apparently everyone who shoots a match there. And then that's John, who used to work at Prime, looking gorgeous on the front of that.
He's a beautiful man. Absolutely.
This is the big one. This arrived today. This is a Boros Xtr-3. So that's going to go on the 6GT. So I'm looking forward to playing with that. Andy's looking forward to playing with that. Get it out.
I'll play with anything, mate.
Yeah, why not? Scope related or anything.
Full
whatever. And then the thing that I'm also probably equally excited about, I dug this up the other day. That's a Sega Mega Drive with NBA Jam in it. I've been getting no work done anymore. This is live.
But it's not dusty.
I wiped it all off. Trust me, there was it took about 15 minutes to get this cartridge to a point where it actually would turn on and play. So that's good. And then we got all the classics, the Sonics and NHL 96.
NHL.
Anyway, that's my amusement done for a little while. So anyway, that's what's on the shelf this week with us. You got anything to show off, mate? Well, I mean, you've got a fairly impressive shelf behind you, so look, we can just stick with that.
I do. I've up on the shelf there. Give me a sec.
Yep. Right. Well.
I'm coming. I'm back. This is one thing that I'm really excited about. Speaking of scopes, I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's hard to read in there, but this is...
that's the Shannon K reticle, milling reticle number 4.
Yes, that is what you saw.
Very nice, mate. Very nice. Now just doing the one-upmanship. I love it.
Oh, no. Shiny new things. So, yeah, I can't help myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's no Sega Mega Drive, but it's nice.
No, it's not. It's got nothing on the Sega Mega Drive. And it's got nothing on the... I don't have an Arizona patch. How about I trade you a Carlos sticker, which I'm sure you don't have any of, for your Arizona patch? Or challenge coin.
Let's say no, because I reckon I know where to get a Carlos sticker from. But I appreciate the thought, mate. No.
I'm a give and take kind of guy.
Take it. All right. Very good. Very good. You, for those who are wondering what all the giggling's about, if you listen to the Precision Shooting Podcast latest episode that will be going up at sometime this weekend, anyway, it all makes sense. Very good. All right, let's cut out the in-jokes and get over to gear. What do we got sitting there? That's some sort of trigger we didn't see.
Yeah, this I just got a little shipment of some Trigger Tech bits in here.
Yeah, very nice.
The diamonds are not shining just yet, but this one feels special, as in lick the glass type special.
Nice, mate. He's got a
And
so all sorts of
just
goodies floating around.
this is another bit of kit where I like to play with. This is an empty gun. This is actually not a barrel.
Mhm.
This is it's a real gun, but it's actually completely unloaded.
Yep.
And this is a magazine with gas in it.
Okay.
So this is some of the things
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
So yeah, that's I'm getting some of the laser targets over from our friends over at in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to use these sorts of things with hopefully bolt guns and some of the other stuff that I supply to the government. Just always look for new ways to train and add some new tech into the equation to try and seeing most of our mates down in Victoria. They need a call out and a bit of a bone. Can't get out on range. So I'll try and get some tools over and some toys to help keep the Rona boredom at bay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so that's a CO2 or something like that. That's just simulating the recoil, so you can train with it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to work it out how to make it work with the bolt guns. It's better with semi-autos.
Yep.
Yeah, runs CO2. Kind of like airsoft. A bit more kick than a gel blaster.
Mm-hmm.
And helps disturb the sight picture. The cool thing is that it disturbs the sight picture when the sight picture goes off, and it resets the trigger. So as you guys would know, semi-automatic handguns, you need to let the slide reciprocate to reset the trigger instead of actually lifting the handle and pulling the bolt back.
Very good, mate. Excellent. Got a question here, and I know the answer to this one because you messaged me. You're very excited this morning. But a question about where's our 6 GT brass?
Fantastic. Glad I was asked.
Yeah, because I got a very, very excited message from you this morning. So keep us updated because you're now the importers for Alpha Munitions. Yes,
finally. So about 6 months ago, I applied for the B709 import permit. For some reason, it was delivered to me this morning. So import permit is in hand. As soon as I got that, I sent it off to the exporters and Rain and Tom over at Alpha, and I'll be calling them up tonight as well just to get that first lot. So there's some brass coming for you, some coming for me, and for everyone else that's been super supportive and patient. Thank you very much. Very, very sorry about the delays. No excuses, but it's not my fault.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's been a tumultuous time for any sort of imports and such, and that was that you copped that on the back of some other challenges with ITAR changing and other bits and pieces. It's been not particularly for you, but a mess in general for all sorts of challenges at the moment.
Oh man, like worst possible time I could have conceivably started a firearms dealership and distribution company because mate, opened up, spent like a stupid amount of money to get licensed and opened up here in November and fitting out the shop, and then paid a lot of money on stuff and then shut down by the fearless Queensland government because they thought we were going to be doing silly things with our gear until the middle of June. So open a shop, go through the dead time, business picks up for 2 weeks, gets shut down. Didn't know when I was going to open again. So many good customers. I actually do want to say thanks so much to everyone that has helped and supported from the bottom of my heart, because there were so many people that actually rang up and said, "Hey man, shit time. What can I do to help? What can I buy?" And there was about a week there where I couldn't even sell you like a tourniquet because I sell medical gear as well.
Wow.
I couldn't sell. I was prohibited from selling anything. Couldn't receive gear. It was ridiculous. But people were ringing up saying, "Hey man, can I buy some ammo? Can I buy sling? Can I buy a bipod? Can I buy whatever you've got to help support you?" And honestly, even though the amounts of money weren't necessarily huge, it was what really actually kept me going psychologically and emotionally, is that people were so thoughtful and considerate.
Yep.
So thanks so much to the shooting community. We chatted a bit during that time as well. So thanks very much for you. Even though it didn't seem like much, like the messages on social media just was in some down times was actually massively motivating. So thanks very much. But 10th of June, the chastity belts came off, and could start doing fun things again.
Oh, Good.
And yeah, then the constant fights with the government police, as in not the general police, but yeah, the weapons police. Yeah, they've had massive backlogs. I'm sort of, they do as much as they can, but yeah, it's taken a while. And yeah, massively excited about getting Alpha Brass hopefully over as soon as possible for the first little bits, and then we'll have a big chunk coming over when a shipping container leaves the US, probably in late September, early October.
Very good, mate. Very good. Well, I'm stoked to be looking at the shop behind you and the fact that it still exists, because that was that's your scenario where you started November and then 6 months later or less, you shut again and shut for quite a while. It's amazing to see that you're still there. So credit to you. Well done. And obviously, we have an amazing shooting community, and we know that, and we hear from them a lot. And there's some amazing people who, no doubt keep things rolling, keep things running, which is phenomenal. Yeah,
and I'll give it back. Yeah, there was 6 figures of dollars that did go missing over those 3 months. That ran a lot of the reserves away. But yeah, man, it's just they'll punch in the shoulder type thing. It just it meant a lot. So yeah, that's the other reason I'm trying. We'll build up. We'll keep building, and we'll try to give as good a service and support as we can. And like the same with the PRS series, just. Even though we can't go big just yet, it's only just me and what little money that my wife lets me have to go. But yeah, we'll give it a nudge.
Nice, mate. Nice. Now, I just want to delve back into equipment for a few moments, because that's the key of the show. But
get on the gear.
You're really into multi-gun, 3-gun stuff over in the US when you can be.
Oh yeah.
What can you give us a rundown of the combo you use for that? Because while not too many guys over here can run it or maybe own some of those guns, it's always good to hear about equipment that we can't get. Bit of jealousy, yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I run a custom AR, AR-15 chambered in 223. Over there, we can run like as big a mags as we can fit in them in most places except California.
Yep.
Because everything gives you cancer there. So yeah, it's so much fun. So it's pretty custom. It's based on an AR where it's a carbon forend and a 16-inch barrel. I usually run a Carl's K18i in a cantilever spur mount on that. What flavour of trigger? I can't remember which trigger I'm running at the moment. It's a holy shit.
Definitely.
Anyway, it's a cool light trigger that goes. Yeah. You just got a sort of unicorn fart on it. It goes off. So yeah, running a K18i with a red dot on the side, but a 45 just gives nice faster target acquisition. I actually take my handgun from here with me over there when I go. Okay. It's not that hard to travel with gear once you know what to do.
Yep.
And yeah, my semi-automatic shotgun that stays with a buddy over there it's a Benelli with a tube. Next time I go back, I'm probably going to run a Dissident Arms K12. Which is based on a Sega, which is pretty much the same as it's basically an AK-47 12 gauge.
Yes, yeah, I've seen those on some various YouTube videos and bits and pieces. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They're seriously fun.
And that's a pretty common combo. Those sort of 3 setups are fairly custom. And the Segas are real popular, aren't they, for the 12 gauge over there?
Yeah, so yeah, Lan and Mike at Dissident Arms do a really amazing job on making those into race guns. So that's going to be an open gun setup. You don't have to go crazy on that sort of thing. You can just turn up with like a Daniel Defense DDM4, and a normal 2011 handgun or even something. Obviously, there's production, open, outlaw, all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, it depends what you want to do and what your budget is and how much fun you want to have. Yeah, I kind of go a bit stupid on gear. Long mag. So depending on courses of fire, so a typical sort of multi-gun or 3-gun match would be you might have a 30 or 40 round handgun stage in there. You're probably AR or carbine section is going to have a combination of like up close IPSC 5 yards all the way out to potentially 400 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So having a little bit of magnification really helps with that. So usually I've got a red dot on the 45.
Yep.
So the really up close stuff that's sort of within probably 7 yards, all I have to do is pivot the gun at 45 and just yank on it.
Sure.
And something longer, it's dial in, get some support, leaning behind it. Some pretty awkward positions, just like PRS. The longest range we've gone out, there's a really cool range club in just outside of Vegas called Pro Gun Club, which have got, if you ever go to Vegas, you've got to go there. You've got to go there. Blowing up cars with tannerite.
Right. Gotcha.
With a 50 BMG.
Sounds like a once in a lifetime experience, depending on how expensive the car is.
Yeah.
Is that? Did you just blow up the car you rented and then had to walk back or something?
I cannot confirm or deny.
That's what I thought. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Well, if you've had too much to drink, don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Pro Gun Vegas is a great place. Usually go and do a match there before. They usually have a really good match after SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
So go and catch up with a bunch of friends and shoot a lot of guns and blow some shit up and laugh a lot and have a few drinks.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, nice, mate. Yeah. Nice. Now, no doubt, gentlemen, with your experience and the amount of gear you've run, and also your perhaps tendency to get a bit excited about gear, surely there's been a few things you've bought that just haven't quite come to your expectations, or you realise you didn't need. Have you got any stories of stuff that maybe, let's say, they're lessons learned?
Yeah.
Call them.
Particularly with inexpensive, like the whole, it's cheap, but it'll be all right type scenario, and getting through a magazine and things turning to, a shit fight. Cheap AKs don't last very long.
Okay.
From trying to think, we'll only get the cheapest AK we can do and see how quickly it'll break, and having it break halfway through the first magazine.
That's not a. Yeah, that's not what you bought it for.
That sounds like Scott McMillan.
Shout out to Scott. Anyway, good.
Again, every time I've tried to cheap out on something, it's ended in tears. So, whether it's getting handguns that I thought, shit, that's going to be a bargain. I wonder why that's so cheap, and the reason is it's because it's shit.
A few yeet cannons flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got it.
Yeets, no. So, actually, I've been pretty fortunate, not too much. I haven't ever had any really bad outcomes or big losses on things that I've invested a lot on, or that was drastically unfixable. So, yeah, touch wood. I've been all right. But, yeah, how about you, man?
Oh, yeah. I mean, not to bang on about buying expensive stuff, but, yeah, often it's just little things that let go that you just didn't realize. I think I had the rear pin on a Remington 700 trigger. I broke the same one 3 times. Well, not the same one, but I broke it on the same gun 3 times, and that's good fun when you you pull the bolt back, it snaps, and that nearly hits you in the face, and then you now are in the middle of New South Wales, out near nowhere, not smart enough to know how to fix that, and so you have to learn how to pull the bolt back far enough to get the next round, but not too far to come out of the gun, because it makes it more challenging to get back in. And then you get excited because you get onto a run of pigs or something, and then you're like, yes, bang, bang, and then you get really, really excited and pull it out and do smack yourself in the face, and then the pigs are gone. So what's the lesson in that? I don't know. But anyway, I eventually...
Take more spares.
Take spares. So that was a little bit disappointing, but there has been all sorts. Andy, anything come to mind for you, mate?
Yeah, definitely.
Your camera's disappeared, mate.
Oh, okay, that's all right. But I definitely with bipods. I've found myself going through a lot of bipods, trying to get the cheaper ones who thought would work, and it's just they either fall apart or don't do the job, or that sort of thing. So I think bipods is something that's let me down.
Yeah, tell some bipod stories actually, but I won't because we've gone over them previously. Good bipods. That's probably the summary of that. Yeah, mate. What about the flip side of that, Adam? Is stuff that you either has been relatively inexpensive or you sort of expected X from it and it gave you X times 10. Stuff that surprised with how good it is or how valuable it actually was.
Well, shit, now you put me on the spot.
I certainly have.
Oh, yeah, YouPorn.
We're talking website subscriptions, are we? Now
Yeah,
we've moved away from guns.
especially the ones that are free subscriptions. No, I'm struggling.
All good. Well, I before I'll give you some time to think.
Give me some.
We can't
Got to
just
gestate something.
Let's throw the question to Andy, see if he can come up with anything quickly.
Wait, what was the question?
We got your camera back. That's the main thing.
Yay.
Yeah, very, very good.
Hey, batteries.
No, I think so. A couple of little things that I guess I've had that have been very useful that didn't think would be. In federal factory ammunition, you get these plastic strips that have 10 rounds. You get 2 of them in each box of ammo. And you know, you take your ammo out, you put them in, then you throw them away, and you don't even think about it. They fit really well into pockets, into that sort of stuff. And I remember so many hunting trips, I'd be like looking for these things, load them up, put them in various pockets. You got like a 10 rounder in each one. Couldn't afford 10 magazines, so we just run those and just load up your magazine every time, and then throw that into your backpack or into the vehicle. That's one of those little things that were just they were free effectively, and they became extremely they became sought after to the point we would like buy them at gun shows if we could. Like we just take I don't want the ammo, but can I buy the plastic? Yeah. Anyway, sometimes
Recycled.
Yeah, sometimes those little gadgets were and look in terms of actual items, bubble level just has certainly changed how especially at those longer distances are so important, so critical, and having seen that go from putting it onto a gun from performing poorly to performing really, really well in the time it takes to set the bubble level up. It's a cheap thing that has a big role to play.
I know. I just worked it out. Blue Loctite.
Blue Loctite. Yep.
Not red.
Yes.
Blue.
Yes. Red becomes very painful longer term, especially when things go wrong and you need to resolve situations. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of times where I've seen, whatever firearm platform it is, having it happened to me. I went out with Foxy and a couple other guys out to Millmerran a few months ago to try out one of the Oceania guns. Mm-hmm. And I just in the rush, in sort of getting excited, not spending time to actually prep my gear. Mm-hmm. I hadn't put enough torque onto the scope to lock it down, and if I had to actually put up, so after half a dozen rounds, I'm wondering why I can't zero this freaking thing, and all of a sudden it's because I realised, oh, hang on, the scope mount bolts have come loose, and I've gone, that'll be it. Doesn't matter how good the scope or the gear is, if you haven't done your shit up, it's not going to work. So Loctite, blue Loctite is your friend, or my friend.
Yeah, no, good call, mate. Good call, and there's amazing those little things. Have you thought of anything, Andy?
No,
I don't want to just hog the conversation, but there's lots of little. No. I just seen some guys do some cool little tweaks, and so utilizing scope caps, like on the inside of scope caps, putting information in there or a motivational message or whatever it might be. There's so many little. Maybe one day we'll collect all these little ideas, the under $200 list, and save some people some money and actually get some good results from it.
Well, I did something just crossed my mind.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds painful for you.
It's just gone. No, I've lost it now. No, I've seen usually when guys put a flag in their chamber, they'll have a bit of a elastic bungee or something to close the bolt up against the flag. Mm-hmm. It just stops the flag falling out when you're carrying around, muzzle up.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a good one. Fantastic, mate. Yeah. Now Adam, carry on. Carry on. I've got a question.
I mean, just having a repository of sort of checklists, not a suppository. A repository.
I heard you correctly, but thanks for clarifying because Andy took it the other way. So
sorry.
Full spot. Just having a little having that sort of area where you can share these sort of ideas and checklists. So the mate Foxy was just having these simple, like the dope cards laid out in the right sort of structure. Having the checklist, I think the pre-match checklist is actually super handy because guarantee you the morning of going out for a match, whether it's an IPSC match or a 3-gun match or any match, I will forget something, 100%.
Yep, that's right.
I think we've all forgotten either a bolt or a mag or both or ammo.
I have. We back in the day, we used to do a lot of clay shooting in paddocks and just down to a mate's farm. Had a few clay throwers. I'd take them out there and just throw clays, and usually it was minimum buy-in per person of like at least you have to take out at least 500 clays, and that was the deal. Anyway, we got out there one day. One of the guys swung past and picked up the clay throwers from my place, brought them all up, got them all the way up there. Sort of an hour and a half or so drive. We were all up there and ready to roll. Pulled it all out and went, "Hey, Dutchie, where's the cables to connect everything up?" And he's just looked at me and gone, not here. I'm like, well, all right, let's work out who wants to come clay shooting today, as long as they go and grab the cables. Yeah.
Free pass.
And anyway, we got there, but all sorts of stuff you forget. Now you mentioned the I'm going to say this wrong. The Oceana Precision, is that the right? Have I got the brand correct?
Oceania, yeah.
Oceania. Okay, Oceana. That gun, how did you go with that? Let's say, because that's a straight pull gun, isn't it?
Yeah. It was actually, it was pretty gun. Again, it was me not performing rather than the gun, but It was a bit of a prototype to that guy we wanted to sort of have a crack at, and then a bit of feedback. The guys out at Mill Merrin were super helpful and gave a lot of constructive input to the guys at Oceania to say, okay, great, if you want to go down that path, this is how it could work, and this is how it couldn't work. It was kind of a different concept. The guns, they actually sell really well. I think having an Australian-made product, I really want to try and support Australian-made and American stuff rather than our northern directly people that are creating problems at the moment. Supporting local businesses like Warwick Firearms, Oceania Precision, and everyone else in the industry here is a pretty important thing for me to be able to do. The guys, Jeff, the guy that runs the business, is a super passionate, very motivated guy that's sacrificed a lot personally and financially to be able to deliver a really nicely made Australian-made product, core product. A couple of the bits on the side, like the garnish is what I call it, the grip and the stock and bore ends are cheaper to get from overseas, but from the US. I think they're a great platform using one of these Swannies barrels. He's got a great platform there, which I think is actually freaking good value for money.
Yeah, right.
But how does that adapt to PRS? I don't know. Your thoughts would be really valuable there, actually.
Haven't played with them, so I guess we will see.
Conceptually, what do you think of the concept of a straight pull?
I guess if they've got the accuracy of them, then fantastic. I guess that's where we've seen a lot of those sort of straight pull options be sort of on the side, not really shoot as well as a bolt action or as reliably as a bolt action. And I'm not saying that particular gun, I'm talking in general from what it's seen. Yeah. So I guess if they can overcome that and put together a really good package and have it competitively priced against that, it could be fine. I guess it's gonna take a bit to convince a large number of people to go a straight pull rather than a bolt. People got a long history with bolt guns, and it could take a little while. But certainly, we haven't been shooting bolt guns forever. We used to do flintlock, so I guess we changed one. Well, we changed a few times, so it'll change again at some point.
Yeah, one day. I mean, it's really set up to be a sort of a repeater-ish type hunting platform. So its pure design is not to be a precision rifle.
Yeah.
but I kind of like to give it a crack and see if it's worth. And actually, yeah, it's group's really nice. That one was a 308. He makes them in 6.5 Creedmoor as well, and pretty much. And the new 223 350 300 Blackout model is he's working on at the moment. Hopes to be able to make that available at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
fantastic.
If you're out there chasing piggies or bunnies or foxies or any of the other things that we like to put holes in, they're good value.
Yeah, and I think from a hunting platform, the straight pulls make a lot of good sense. Sort of as an alternative to the pump action. Is the word I'm trying. I'm struggling with words. It's too late. It's too late, mate. It's nearly.
You need a drink, Rusty. You need a drink, mate.
Nearly 8:30. Yeah, fair point. That's always helped in the past. I've always been better at speaking after drinking, right, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's 3/4 of the way through a bottle of the Rum Baron's rum, so let's not pay any attention to him. Fantastic, mate. Fantastic. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming on the show, mate. Appreciate your thoughts and ideas. Is there anything burning topic that you wanted to cover off on quickly, or anything you want to do a shout out to?
Mate, shout out to the guys up at Biggin. I'll be up there at the Monster Team event at the end of September. So I think that's probably one of the first proper PRS matches that I'll have done on home soil here.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, really keen to get out there and see the boys. So and get behind some good gear finally, hopefully soon.
Before we let's delve into that for a moment. So what are you planning on running for that team match, and who are you shooting it with?
I'm shooting with a mate of mine who's actually shout out to Jamie, who's probably listening or will be listening. He's ex ADF. He's done a massive amount to help me out and do a bit of a tune up in the shop here to run things better. So yeah, Jamie's going to come up and we'll have some shits and giggles. Actually, there's a long list of people that have contributed lots of time and energy and passion into my business for pretty much ammo. People will work for ammo, which is good.
Good.
But my platform I'm running, waiting for some spur mounts to arrive, and then I'll be putting this Carlitos probably onto the Ruger Hawkeye LRT that's on the wall behind me.
Okay.
I've been trying to. There's a chassis over there that's waiting longingly for an off-the-shelf Rem 700 6.5 Creedmoor to come back.
Yep.
So it'll be either one of those two. And yeah, just try and get some fortune cookies and Accutake bipod, I'd say.
Yep.
And yeah, figure out how bad I am at shooting at stationary targets.
Fantastic, mate. Well, I am looking forward to seeing all the photos and videos and stuff from that match. I was really thinking about getting along to it, but just I got real put off flying with the Darwin flights getting cancelled for no apparent reason, and we were all a bit devastated about that. So I've been pretty nervous about booking flights again. And then Qantas lost $2 billion today or something like that. So
hopefully I can find it.
Everyone, give us a heads up if you find it. 1%, mate. 1%'s all I ask.
Spotter's fee.
That's right. And so didn't jump on it, and then it filled up so quickly, which is awesome. So and they run a good match up there, and I look forward to seeing and hearing about it. And the team match is something we just haven't seen for so long, since back in the PRI days, really. So I look forward to seeing how they do that, because team matches can be done in so many ways. We actually had a team match planned here for June. Ash Porner and myself were going to put that together, and then of course, we didn't even get to the point to write the first stage, given how it all went down. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Jared and the crew up there put together. So good luck for it, Adam. I hope you enjoy, and we look forward to keeping updated on that.
Yeah, man. No, it's going to be super exciting. I've just Mark the guys at Kestrel Australia were kind enough to open an account for me just this week as well.
Yep.
So I'll put an order in for some Kestrels probably tonight or tomorrow.
Yep. So
hopefully I'll have 6 weeks will be enough time to work so that I can work out how to turn it on and try and figure out how to drive it. But yeah, please be gentle with me. I'll have my learner plates on.
The important thing about a Kestrel, probably the most important thing, and should get you going, is probably spend the first week, maybe even 2, playing Snake. Because high scores are a thing at matches now, and so if you can do Snake, you've got this match wrapped up. Don't even worry about shooting. Don't even take any ammo. Just take your Kestrel, and you'll be all over it.
Kestrel and booze.
We might leave it there on that note. Kestrel and booze. Oh, I've got fantastic, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Adam, thank you for your time, for joining us, and all the best with the shop and the training and the match coming up and everything else you got going on. And great to see you still in existence. That is brilliant given the rough start you had. So for those guys, particularly those guys who are up in Queensland and local, get down and go and say good day and meet Adam and catch up with him at the match. And we look forward to hearing how things go, mate. No doubt we will talk to you again shortly.
Awesome, mate. Thanks so much, Rusty. Thanks, Andy. And remember, full squat.
Ready to rock and roll. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks very much for joining us and tuning in. Next week, mystery guests. We're still coordinating the next few weeks of guests, but look forward to being back on deck. If you can get along to that Bigoted match, even to watch or help out, hit those guys up. I'm sure help is always a good thing. If you're in SA or can get to SA relatively easily, come along and check us out. And then whenever that's the 19th of September for the Steel Slam. And what else we got? Yeah, I think that's about it. We will rock and roll and look forward to catching up with you guys in another week or so. And take care, be safe, keep shooting, do all that sort of stuff. This music's coming in while I'm talking out. So yeah.